Hey YouTube, this is HackerMan111 here with a public service announcement. This is information that I'm going to provide. You really should take it to heart, especially if you're thinking about visiting Vegas on vacation or holiday, or if you live here, or if you're already here, or something along the lines of that. But anyway, a couple hours ago, I was going down Las Vegas Boulevard, and I was getting into the left-hand lane so that way I could make a left into Treasure Island. And there were two cars in front of me in the left-hand turn lane, and the light was green. The light for through traffic was red, but the light for turn was green. And I was in the left-hand turn lane trying to get over, or not trying to get over. I was in the left-hand turn lane trying to make a left into Treasure Island so that way I could get into the cab line, because I am a cab driver. And there were two cars in front of me, and they were dead stopped with the light green. I was laying on my horn and everything. They did not budge. So as soon as the light turned red, I was laying on my horn. They got out and they started yelling at me. Now, I don't care if you're going to yell at me, but don't get out of your car in the middle of a busy intersection. I mean, for crying out loud, how stupid do you have to be? I know I'm probably going to get a bunch of crap for this, but I don't care. This is stuff that needs to be known, because otherwise you're going to end up causing an accident, and you might end up taking a life. Now, I don't care how you deal with this information. This is a public service announcement. If you want to put it on your Facebook, put it on your Facebook. I don't care. The point that I'm trying to make here is, if you're in a busy intersection, or if you're on a busy street and the light is green, do not come to a complete stop, because you're going to end up causing an accident. It's also considered impeding the flow of traffic, and it also comes with a $500 fine if caught. So, just a word of wisdom. Second of all, if you're thinking about crossing the street, cross at a crosswalk and wait for the signal to change, giving you the right of way. Don't just cross the street wherever you feel like it, because you're going to end up getting hit. I know you think, oh, I can't get hit, I'm very lucky. Well, guess what? Your luck is going to run out, especially if you play chicken with traffic. Third of all, when crossing in a crosswalk, wait for the signal to allow you to cross. Don't just cross when you see it's clear, because someone could be coming around the corner doing the speed limit. You may not see them, and then you end up getting clipped, or you end up getting hit head on, in which case you're pretty much dead. So if you value your life, use the crosswalk and wait for the signal to change. One other thing, in Las Vegas on the Strip, there are pedestrian bridges that go across the street. Use them. Don't use the actual street to cross, because you're going to end up causing an accident. There's a reason why those bridges are put in place. Those bridges were put in place to limit the amount of accidents involving pedestrians. Yes, granted, we don't have bridges across all of the casinos on the Strip, but we do have bridges across we do have bridges that go across the main streets, such as Flamingo, Tropicana, Spring Mountain. We do have bridges that lead to all four corners of that intersection, so you can get to where you need to go. Take the extra time. Walk across the street in designated crosswalks and pedestrian bridges. Don't cross the street in the middle of the street, especially when the street is packed, because you don't know, all the lights might turn green, and then it starts flowing, and then guess what? You're stuck in traffic. traffic starts going, you're in the middle of traffic, you're going to end up getting hit. I can almost guarantee you're going to end up getting hit. And I do have a little bit of a story for you. This happened here in Vegas recently. A woman with her family came out to Vegas. She got extremely drunk, and she decided to go ahead and cross the street when her signal wasn't ready to go. So she goes crossing the street. This happened in front of Caesars, and this happened in front of Caesars Palace. I take that back. This happened in front of the Link, in between the Link and the Flamingo. She starts crossing the crosswalk, thinking that it's clear, and a Henderson cab comes around the corner, doesn't see her, and ends up running into her doing the speed limit. The cab driver's light was green. She did not have the right of way. If you're in a crosswalk and you do not have the right of way, your signal is not walk, and it says don't walk, or you have the little red hand that goes like this, and it doesn't flash, you do not have the right of way. So stay on the sidewalk until you have the right of way, because otherwise you're going to end up getting hit, and it will not be the driver's fault. Even if you're in a crosswalk, it won't be the driver's fault, especially if their light is green. If their light is green, they have the right of way. This should be common knowledge for some people, but nobody out here takes it to heart. And then shit like this happens. She ended up losing her life, by the way. Family was very, very sad and everything else like that. They wanted to sue the cab company and the cab driver for hitting her, but the police had already determined that it wasn't the cab driver's fault, and it wasn't the cab company's fault, because the cab driver had the green light. FYI, all the cabs, all the limos, all the shuttle buses, all the regular buses, they have cameras built right into the cars, and they're also linked into the car's computer as well, so it actually shows the speed that the cab or the car or the bus or whatever is going at the time of the accident. So don't cross in a crosswalk when you don't know what the hell's coming around the corner. Because I can guarantee you, you're gonna cross a crosswalk when you don't have the right of way, and a car is gonna come around the corner, not see you, and smack right into you, and it's gonna be your fault. But anyway, that's pretty much it for me. This is just a public service announcement. You don't have to watch it if you don't want to, but I really suggest you take this information to heart, because it may end up saving your life. And it'll also make our job a lot easier. It'll make our job as cab drivers and limo drivers and shuttle bus drivers, it'll make our job a lot easier, because we won't have to worry about people running into the crosswalk trying to get across because they don't want to wait for the next cycle. And I know how you say, oh, cab drivers are impatient. Well, when our meter is running, we're not the one that's impatient. It's the customer in the back seat who's impatient. So, but anyway, that's it for me. This is HackerMan 111. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.